we are live with pre-show. Hello, hello, everybody. Okay.
Hello.
And then post, and then post, and then ping. There you go. Cool. Epic. Awesome. Alright. How are we doing today, gamers?
It's hot.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Sick for most of the week.
Yeah.
I'm hearing reviews about Steins Gate reboot already.
Yeah, I saw those just got posted.
Now, most of the reviews are good.
Thanks, I hope.
Most of the reviews are good. My problem is, I looked at some of them, and they said that they're using the Steins Gate Elite script, and I think that's the biggest turnoff for me. The Steins Gate Elite, for those who don't know, is the version of Steins Gate that they eventually released, which replaced all the visuals with visuals from the anime directly. So you're basically reading a VN with that's just clicking through anime frames, basically. Now this obviously is not doing that visually. It's visually doing very different things, but the script is still from that version, which means a lot of details were taken out from the original version. But there is new stuff added. They added more stuff for Moeka, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But that comes out next week on PC.
Yippee!
Also, Twitter is getting worse by the day.
Yep. I mean, nothing new there.
Well, the latest update is, on my alt account, it likes to just lock me out of my alt account, like, every single fucking day for the past week for no reason. It locks me out for, like, a bit, has me click a verify captcha thing, and then my follower account shows a 0 for, like, an hour or two afterwards, every time it does it. Don't know why that keeps happening. And then, now they pushed this update a while ago, where on mobile, they made it so that if you go to someone's profile, you don't, like, see all their posts and retweets, you only see, like, their original posts that they do. And then all their stuff is, like, put into different tabs, including the media tab now does not do video and photos. So if you go into someone's media tab, like an artist, you're only going to get videos by default, which for some artists is only going to be like time lapses or GIFs, and then you have to manually click it again and then select photos from there. I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know why they're messing with shit like this. It's not good. It's bad.
They have shareholders, so they're always changing shit for shareholders, so.
Do they have shareholders? I thought they specifically do not have shareholders anymore.
Their shareholder is that man, so.
Oh, true. Okay, let me plug in my phone here. We have a few people that are not here this week, and a few others that, or at least one person that may be here, but maybe a bit late, but to start without them. So we have a couple people who confirmed they didn't do the reading, so they're not going to be here this week. No women apologist here this week, so we don't get any apologies for them. Shadow's the one who said they might be a bit late. And was there anybody else that was going to be here? It looked for a bit like everybody was bailing out this week, and then Aztec said, no, I can make it. I can still make it. I just won't talk as much.
That's what I was telling Spaghetti. I was like, we finally get to the chapter where Elle dies and no one can make it.
Thankfully, almost nothing happened as a result of that. So
that's we're gonna get to it.
I was gonna joke about
Just
that in the chat, but I was
mitosis.
gonna wait until the stream to do it about like everybody leaving as soon as he's gone. Which like fair, to be honest.
Gone. What we do?
Me with Fujita, TBH.
Exactly.
Oh my
The
god.
Fuji incident repeats
My boy.
again and again. It's normal.
Okay, we're all here now. Hello Melanie and hello Stella in the chat as well.
Hi Stella, hi. Hi Stella, hello, hi. Hi Stella, hi.
So
I can't tell
okay.
I can't tell you're doing podcast to hear it.
What?
That's always how I say hi to Stella.
Okay.
Have you not seen me in the chat before?
I know, but
Always how I say hi to Stella.
I feel like you're doing podcast. I'm not sure what.
I can't see
Guess
anything.
you're not.
You can't read? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
Yeah,
You're
Jeff,
a
you read it, right? Derogatory.
I wish I knew how to read for book club. I just who was that one dude? I'm not gonna say their actual name or whatever, but the one person from the past who we knew was just like, yeah, I could just read through like a whole volume in like 5 minutes.
Panels.
I just look at the images and then I just like intuit what the whole story is.
You're gonna intuit your way through Death Note.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
Very
they're all-
word heavy manga. Very word heavy.
This one's about the joys of introducing monsters to chocolate.
True.
True. Dude, I love him. I don't remember what his name is, but I love him. He's my favorite.
His name's
Only
Sido.
only
His
second.
name's
Oh.
Sido.
He's my favorite Shinigami, only second to
Oh, yeah,
Goober, the
he's great.
Shinigami that was created for that one crossover fanfic that I read.
Oh my god.
Wow.
They described Kyoya's Goober as a little brown blob wrapped in bandages with one red eye, and I love him.
Oh my god.
Kyoya goes, "Are you the one that made the Death Note rules?" And he's like, well, my friends mostly tell me about it, and I just take their word for it. And I was like, Goober, I love you. I would
Oh my
die
God.
for you, Goober.
All right, are we ready to go? I think we got everybody here now, so it looks like we're good to go. Let me take us off pre-show. Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of the Anime Book Club here on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and eventually Spotify later whenever I stop being lazy and upload those onto there. We're here to continue our talks about Death Note, the manga. Specifically this week we're discussing volumes 7 and 8. But before we get into that, let's introduce our guest that we have here this week in alphabetical order as we see. First, we would have Appletech, however, he is currently sick and has requested that we skip his intro. In his stead, I will say, for him, his name is Aztec, and he what was he used to say? He likes bad media.
Bad media.
He likes bad media. And this week he would recommend probably not bad media.
Sword Art Online.
Okay, well...
That is bad media, though.
Listen, read the light novels for that, okay? Anyways, next up,
No
Arimia.
notes.
Arimia, how hard? Introduce yourself.
How? I'm Ramian. I like shonen shit. I don't really have a recommendation this week. I've been kind of bouncing between a bunch of different things, trying to finish something. But you can't really do that when you're bouncing between a bunch of different things. So I haven't finished anything the past week. Yeah, maybe soon. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
I have so many things open that I've started on. So many visual novels and books that I've started on. And I want to finish them, but I'm also eyeing my next Seishi Yokomizo book. And I'm just like, oh, but wouldn't a Japanese murder mystery be so
What if I,
nice
what if
right
I just
now?
like read a page, you know? What if just one page?
Just a chapter, you know? I want to see what Kindaichi's up to, you know? I just you know. Yeah.
Wow. Anything else? Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for that. Next up, Lan Yagami. Introduce yourself.
I'm Shadow. The thing I recommend for this week, because I seem to have blacked out most of what I've done this week for some reason. I couldn't imagine why. Do you have any idea, Andy? Why that could be the case? No, okay. So the thing I recommend
I'm
is making
sorry, I
better
don't have
friends than
much,
L,
like,
so you don't die.
So what? I don't know what you just said. Say
I
it
recommend
again.
making better friends than L, so you don't die.
Oh, well, that's, it's hard sometimes, okay? It's hard. I don't know. Alright, thank you so much for that, Shadow. Next up, Nyagami Bacon. Introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Nan Bacon. You may also hear me referred to as Nyan or Andy. I use he, they pronouns, please. And, the only two things that I consumed... Actually, you know what? I consumed 3 things. Other than Death Note. One is that Smosh finally posted the first video of their next Resident Evil playthrough. It's Resident Evil 2, because apparently you need that to be able to know what's going on in Resident Evil 9. And they have Angela play for the first bit, and it's unbearable. Imagine giving somebody who has never played a PlayStation game a PlayStation controller and going, play Resident Evil. It was awful.
What's it called?
So I actually don't
I think we
recommend
did that in the day. It was called the first Resident Evil game.
The other 2 things that I watched while I was getting my awesome ass Xenomorph tattoo was the Super Mario Galaxy movie and Sonic 2. And I don't recommend the Super Mario Galaxy movie, it was kind of mid, but I do recommend Sonic 2. I know I'm a couple years late to that train, but Sonic 2 is actually kind of fire. So that's my recommendation for this week.
My question is, what are you consuming right now? Because clearly you're eating something.
Oh, it's a sausage and bean soup. So it's got some sausages and beans and tomatoes and onions. And it's pretty good. My brother made it. I had to go cut up the sausages before book club, but it's pretty good.
Oh.
I don't know if it's good enough to recommend. It's, sausages and beans, so it's very like famine coated.
Oh.
What?
I don't know.
You know, I'm quite famine coated myself.
Interesting. Very,
but,
very interesting.
It's edible.
I hope it is.
Very, very huge reviews going on here, I must say.
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of when sausage comes out gray. And it's very gray sausage.
Okay.
Hold on, what kind of sausage have I been eating? Wait a minute.
I don't know. Probably beef. This might be turkey sausage. We don't eat a whole lot of beef sausage because my mom had some medical issues, and apparently, like, eating red meat can, like, make those worse, like, gallbladders or kidney stones or whatever the fuck it was. So we don't eat a whole lot of red meat in the house anymore, so it's probably turkey sausage, which is probably why it's gray. But I think beef sausage usually comes out more of, like, a pink or a red color.
Oh.
But also, I could be pulling that out of my ass.
Happens often. Alright, well, thank you so much for that. Next up, me, Ryuzaki Borg, aka Wolfborg, aka Chap, aka the best anime book club ever of all time. You already know it. This week, I would recommend to you ReZero Season 4, which is currently airing again now. Finally, it should be. So if you are somebody who's never checked out ReZero, you should check out ReZero in general. But if you're caught up, guess what? New season's back. Get going. What are you doing here? Well, actually, wait until after this, and then you can go check it out. But yeah, it's good. It's good. ReZero is good. Okay.
So what you're telling me is that we should use Andy to make you watch season 3 of ReZero again.
Wait,
I'm gonna sit there for all 4 seasons comparing it to Familiar of Zero, right? I own Familiar of Zero on DVD. Obviously, I have a favorite.
This show is like nothing like Familiar. I feel like I have to remind you of this. Most isekais are nothing like Familiar of Zero.
Then why would I want to watch
It's
them?
a little like Familiar of Zero.
Being in a fantasy world and being from this is not all of what Familiar of Zero was.
Yeah.
Subaru is basically Amelia's pet.
I don't know what you're talking about, Chad. That was literally Saito's whole character for the entire manga. That was his whole character. He never evolved past that.
Okay, well, have you considered maybe you should watch shows not because they're similar to Familiar of Zero, but because they're good shows? Have you considered this?
Is it similar to My Little Pony?
That you could do both.
Okay.
You can do both.
Does something only have to be similar to Familiar Zero or My Little Pony to be watched by you? Is this all we get here?
I sent
This is what makes it definitionally good.
I sent a Futurama gif in my work chat, and my boss went, "Have you seen more than 2 seasons of Futurama?" Because I had a really funny exchange with him. I work for a pest control company, so one of the things that I mentioned was that somebody had mentioned that we got a call from somebody that was like, "Hey, I need pest control. I have bugs in my skin," and they were like, "Hey, we're not a doctor. We can't treat for bugs in our skin." And my supervisor was like, "We get a lot of calls like that," and I was like, "I read a South Park fanfic like that once," and he was like, "You and I are very different South Park fans, Andy." And then later
Why would
during
you say that at work?
Okay, anyways, I would recommend ReZero Season 4 and not bugs under your skin. That's what I would recommend. Thank you so much for that, Ryuzaki Borg, aka Wolfborg, aka Chaplin. Next up, thrice misspelled hashtag, what is your full name? Hashtag not dead yet, middle finger emoji. Introduce yourself.
Rude.
You gotta say the whole thing every time.
Well, it's what it says.
Right, this is my full title.
I'm still deep in the pit of this K-pop group, so I haven't really been doing much other than watching music videos lately. I did go see their concert movie adapted from a VR experience in theaters twice, which was great choreography, great dancing. A lot of the rest of it was kind of goofy, but in an endearing way when you're a fan in a room full of other fans. So, yeah, I don't really know what to recommend. I don't know. Maybe that Sakura mochi, because I like that. So eat some Sakura mochi.
Okay, go have some Sakura mochi if you haven't already. Enjoy. Thank you so much for that. Next up, Violet, parentheses, lesbian rem truther. Introduce yourself.
I'm Violet. I'm upset that they made her go no homo last volume in the manga. Very sad. What I would recommend, the media I would recommend is Digimon Tamers, which is made by the same guy who did Serial Experiments Lane.
Yep.
And honestly has kind of an interesting deconstruction of the like monster companion trope like Pokemon. I was just rewatching some episodes of that, enjoying it.
Hell yeah. Go check that out if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for that. And I think that's everybody that we got here this week. For anybody here who was not here last week, did you have any thoughts you wanted to share about the readings from last week? I forget who exactly wasn't here last week. I think Violet wasn't here last week, but I don't know if anybody else was not. Anybody?
I also was not, because of said K-pop movie.
Oh, yes, that's true. Any bonus thoughts? I know we have a rem truthing here, but
Rem truthing. Very, yeah.
Yeah, that was real weird. It's like, okay, well,
It
I
was,
do love her,
yeah.
but I'm also a lady, so and it's like, so.
Yeah, it is strange. I will go on the REM thing real fast. So I was reading that and I looked at a few clips of the anime, which I was more familiar with before this. And they just don't have any of that in the anime. But it was really weird to me that they had her go, "Oh, I have developed feelings for light, even though I care about you more, Misa. But I am a girl and I love you differently." They had her no homo and say that she was developing feelings for light, but then also acted as though she hated light outthinking her later on. It was a continuous sort of like distaste for light that she was showing, and then saying that she didn't feel.
I'd also like to point out, technically, I think this extends to this reading as well, because I caught it when it happened. The only people to have ever referred to Rem as a girl is herself and Ryuk. Light actually still uses he, him pronouns for Rem in this reading. Now, I think it's during the flashback when he's talking to Ryuk about burying the Death Note, but, like, nobody outside of herself and, like, the other Shinigami ever acknowledges that she's a woman. Like, she continues to be, like, male presenting to the human cast, like, the whole time.
And I will be
they're just
honest, I don't
transvestigating
think
her.
I
It's
don't think
upsetting.
that's any kind of gender thing. I think that's
No.
just the Shonen Jump shitty translations.
That's very possible. That's very
They're
possible.
very famous for just not caring about fixing, typically, you know, when it's actually a woman and they're always referring to them as a man. I mean, they even do that for mangakas. Like, Shonen Jump does not care about appropriately translating that stuff or editing it.
Or characters who are supposed to be non-binary will just get he, him'd throughout the manga translations and such.
I'm sure they just saw this and they were like, it's a monster, who cares? You know?
Right. All right. But yeah, any other thoughts that we want to get into? Most of last week's stuff was about the Yotsuba group situation, which pretty much gets wrapped up fully at the very beginning of this week. So yeah.
I was mostly curious about how that all got started.
So a lot of the details of how it got, we brought this up last week too. That was my main issue, is that most of that setup, I don't know how you start that with the setup of like the 8 people where they're having the meetings and none of them seemingly know who Kira is. Like, it doesn't get into the details of how these started and how they came to understand all this information, because I don't know if there's a way for them to do it.
Gloss over it.
Yeah, we don't directly see it.
We all got called into a special meeting one day, and it's like,
No, like they say like, oh yeah, we're all directed here and stuff, and they just kind of roll past it. It's like that, whatever.
I'm pretty sure.
How did you all learn about the rules? And like, how did you not figure out that this guy who doesn't seem that smart?
I'm pretty sure it was something like
keep himself secret.
Yeah, I think it was something like Tsugumi Ohba probably thought like, all right, I'm going to start off with the cool setup with the group and having them do the killings, and I'll figure out the answer for how they got together later, more properly. And then they didn't come up with it fully, so they just kind of mentioned it offhand and then moved on.
Yeah.
So I think it's stuff like that. I brought it up though. Okay, I feel you on that one. All right, but it's whatever. I did think it was cool to have that angle of the Yotsuba group, like a financial group of like business dudes trying to have the notebook instead of Kira and all that, or Light. So it was interesting to get that perspective.
Light
but
Turner.
this week starts with
Light Turner.
Yes, Light Turner. This week starts with the end of that arc officially, by having the what is their group called? The Kira Task Force or whatever. I know the actual cops is the MPA. I don't know if I don't remember. I know this week we got introduced to the American division trying to do it, the SPK now, but I forget what they're called other than like the Kira Task Force. So the Kira Task Force has captured Higuchi, who was the owner of the Death Note during the Yotsuba group situation, and during all of this, he basically explained to the cops as they were holding him up about the notebook, and this is where we finally got, at the beginning of this week's reading, we finally got the scene, the All According to Keikaku panel, where finally, after all this time of Light having no memories of having the Death Note, the whole plan comes together and the Death Note is now back in his possession along with all of his memories. And of course, that's the moment. Once he has the notebook in the helicopter next to L is when he's like, how do they phrase it here? Because they didn't, I don't think, I don't remember.
Exactly as planned.
Exactly as planned. Which, for those of you who aren't familiar with the meme, there is a panel of the anime which has him holding the notebook in the helicopter and it says, all according to Keikaku, and then it says, translators know Keikaku means plan. It's a joke about translation notes or whatever, instead of just translating that, but it's a very memed panel. So if you ever hear us saying Keikaku means plan, it's a reference to this moment. Which for a lot of how do I phrase this? We've been saying constantly about how he's coping, about how smart he is. He's constantly talking about, like, damn it, L outsmarted me. And then Ryuk goes, he outsmarted you. And then he goes, no, he didn't outsmart me.
That was useless.
This is all...
I knew this was happening.
I knew this from the beginning, Ryuk. What are you talking about? Of course I knew this. This is just like, oh, this is all according to plan. Like, making me think like he like wrote all of the details of this in the notebook and somehow it all orchestrated perfectly as he expected or whatever. It was just a series
He
of
really
like
tested the
coincidences.
limits of how many pages the Death Note can have with all this.
Listen, yes.
There's a rule that says the Death Note never runs out of pages.
Oh,
Yeah, he tested that rule, alright.
by writing
That's how
every
you figured
single
it
bit
out.
of it. Yes.
He's lucky that he has two Shinigami that are both so bored and also like invested in seeing where this madness goes that they do what he says. Because if they had done anything to deviate from his plan, it wouldn't have worked.
Like Ryuk's just like this very funny light. Okay, I'm gonna do it, but very funny.
Which, by the way, we have different ways to motivate the Shinigami to, like, help us in these situations. For Ryuk, it's like whatever would either give him apples or be entertainment for him. If he thinks it would be funny or more entertaining to watch, he'll probably help me out with it. For Rem, it's do this or I will threaten to kill or expose or whatever Misa. Which ends up finally becoming a thing this week with the big event here. There was the hugest event. So we grab the Death Note from Iguchi. L is like thinking through how this affects his whole thinking of the process of the entire case in the helicopter. Meanwhile, next to him, Light is getting all of his memories back of being Kira. And then he's like, okay, I have the notebook back, but I can only keep these memories in the notebook while I have the notebook in my hand. So I have to kill somebody with the notebook right now. But I can't write in the notebook, otherwise Elle's going to see me write in the notebook. So how am I going to kill somebody with the notebook while holding on to the notebook still? The answer's obvious. I put a piece of the notebook ages ago in my watch that I never take off.
Great job, boy.
Because of course, and they just like, I could simply like use, what did he use, like a sewing needle or something, and he like wrote it in his own blood. He's like, there's no rule that says you can't write in blood on the Death Note, so I'll simply do that. And obviously,
earlier in the rules pages where anything that's illegible works.
Honestly,
you use snippets of paper.
I honestly think it's impressive that he was able to write that like all one-handed on this tiny ass piece of paper in the watch.
And
with a needle.
With a needle in a helicopter. I'm sure it's windy as shit. But he's able to do it because why not? Fuck it.
It was strange to me, as perceptive as L is, like every other time something happens, he just like did not give a shit about Light just screaming next to him.
And he
also,
let him
like,
just keep holding the Death Note,
yes,
even though he still
that's
suspects
what I
him.
was about to say. Because
he's not going to do anything next to me.
He gets the Death Note, and he's immediately like, Light is Kira. I know it for a fact now. I can't prove it, but I know Light was absolutely Kira. Meanwhile, he's just letting him have the Death Note right beside him, just like glancing over every few seconds, like, well, he's not writing in and out. He wouldn't be that stupid. He's Kira after all. He can't be that.
Probably no reason he really screamed there. And I think he says a line like right after that, like, "Oh yeah, I guess that monster is pretty surprising." And Light's like, "Yeah, crazy."
So Shinigami do exist, and that's it. There's no like.
Yeah, I thought L was gonna be the one screaming because we had that moment where he like freaked out just hearing the mention of Shinigami on like the computer the one time. I thought he was gonna be the one to like actually freak out about them seeing the Shinigami there. But no, he's too busy. He's too busy calculating how the Death Note factors into all of his logic up until now. So
Well, that's why he didn't think it was weird that Light screamed, I guess. He was like, yeah, that's actually the proper reaction.
Yeah.
That's a strangely proper reaction, Light.
Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, I guess. We have to talk about our boy here, who is the thumbnail for this week. We have to talk about
Yeah,
probably...
Lisa's still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. This is probably the most spoiled thing about Death Note. This is one of the things I just asked us not to mention it, but a lot of people, even if they haven't consumed Death Note, know about this detail. And it is that L, in fact, dies this week.
Oh no.
He gets got, and not by any of them, but by Rem.
Yes.
Simply because she felt cornered because Light knew that she wasn't useful. He didn't
Elle
expect
dies?
much
Yeah,
out of
that's
her.
right. Oh my god.
It was so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
I'm so used to. I was telling Violet this. I'm so used to even like the writer in me is looking at it like, okay, I can kind of understand the creative decision of like if the story is from Light's perspective and Light didn't give a fuck about Al, like there wouldn't be this big emotional scene that a lot of like drama manga usually do, where it's like you can tell based how on the scene is written like if the person is actually gonna stay dead or not. This was written as a scene like L is actually still alive and is like gonna come back later. There was not enough focus on the fact that he died to imply that he's gonna stay dead.
It
That
did feel like
me-
a fake out.
moves on from that also.
That's what I'm saying. But then I'm sitting there like, even then, like this is supposed to be a moment of victory for Light. There would be some kind of like reaction other than Light just like catching him from falling out of the chair and then the fake storm out. Like
Well, there was he made sure to smirk at him as he died in his arms, so Elle knew as he died. Elle's last thoughts were, I was right. I was right all along.
Fake out. It's like, oh no, he's just having a weird medical thing, and he'll wake up later, like they did Dad.
That
But then no, time
honestly,
jump 4 years.
that's honestly the reason that I have, excuse me, that I've only watched the anime through all the way through once. I usually stop here.
Yes.
It's not because the rest of it is bad. I think that the L death scene is so anticlimactic and momentum stopping
Yep.
that the rest of it feels a little out of nowhere without the focus on it. And I will say
The cat and mouse game is over.
Yeah, but I will say in the manga, it's actually less momentum stopping than it is in the anime, like as much as it is. Because the anime actually acts like L is a second protagonist more so. And in this one, it is in the manga, it is mainly that Light is the protagonist, so I see the writing choice a little better having read this. But it comes off even stranger in the anime where L is also more so the secondary protagonist. It's an interesting difference, but still anticlimactic and still odd to immediately time skip and have nothing really feeding you into it or seeing the aftermath or anything.
Yeah. I will say this is the point. I've rewatched Death Note a number of times, and I've shown it to people a number of times. And like even my Japanese teacher finally checked out Death Note, the anime, for the first time at some point. You know, from me recommending it to her, and she checked out. And most people, and even like my teacher or whatever, were all just like, "Yeah, once that moment dies, the show becomes far less interesting." Like there's still more stuff in this later half.
It's bad.
Yeah, there's still more stuff in the like this is literally the halfway point too. Like this is like this isn't even like close to the end. This is halfway through. There's like and it's I think the problem is we spent all this time establishing this and now we're shifting it to this much different kind of story that we get this week now, and it does not feel the same, even though we effectively got replacements for L here. it does not feel the same with how it gets you intrigued in like the cat and mouse portion of it. Not yet, at least.
But we have
And
two for the price of one.
Yeah, we'll
No,
get
they're
into
both-
them.
they make
Don't worry.
Really
sequels.
fucking annoying.
Hey, listen.
You would
Okay.
get that.
I'm already tired of the chocolate bar.
I'll
Yeah.
eat ice cream chocolate bar.
I'm so tired of the chocolate bar.
So
I like the Gundam kid, but the chocolate bar is
the
annoying.
Gundam
Yeah,
kid.
I too have a weakness for Gundam, but get that chocolate bar away.
No, I have to mention
Give it to the Shinigami.
the fuck, what is it? The puzzle pieces and just like an entire like white frame and just like the letter L on the top left. How the hell
And
did you do this?
Even
Psychopath.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
so
that's
you
that's
know.
that's the challenge with those. Yeah, that's
In the
these are
meeting-
puzzles for crazy people. You know, to really
in the
prove how
meeting
smart
with
you are.
Roger. In the meeting with Roger, by the way, he finishes it, dumps it out, and refinishes it in the amount of time it takes Mello to say like 2 sentences.
That's how you know they're smart. Okay, that's how you know.
No, that's not smart. That's just being a psychopath.
You wouldn't understand.
Shadow,
you
you're
wouldn't
what to
get it.
talk.
You wouldn't get it.
What fucking run are you on Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Spirit Color over here with my I'm not changing my deck at all for this run and I'm gonna beat the game? And you're trying to call this kid a psychopath? Shut the fuck up!
Basic
I
Nier
think
would
you're
also do
psychopath.
that probably.
No, Nier would also get the world record speedrun.
Oh, okay,
too.
true. So
For that specific run.
for us to get to this, however, for L to die, it had to be through bullshit. It's not just the fact that it was like
Yeah.
out of nowhere or whatever with this. It was bullshit. I mentioned this last week, okay? We have to call the ref on Rem. Rem is clearly breaking rules they should not be, and we found out later this week that there's like actual like penalties that the Shinigami will get for some of this bullshit, and that never happened to Rem up until the very, very end, okay? And so like
Whoa, what? With what Shinigami number 3 was doing, Rem wasn't breaking nearly enough rules, clearly.
Obviously. Rem was like okay, Rem was already kind of being used by Light before, but it was more so like I don't really agree with you in what you're doing, but I care about Misa. So if you want me to write L's name in the Death Note, I'll do it if you want me to, when you tell me to. And then we get to the situation now, the Otsuba group thing is sorted out, and Rem is watching the aftermath, vaguely answering the questions that the detectives ask Rem, but Rem is watching the situation quietly, trying not to also expose that Light is Kira. And then, very clearly, things have been set up very purposely by Light to make it so that the detectives are going to look at Misa next as Kira. And they're going to assume based on all the information. The biggest detail that they had, I think, there's a couple of things that Light put in that are just fake rules about the Death Note to try to like trick the detectives, I guess.
Yeah.
The two big ones was anybody, if this Death Note is destroyed, anybody who has touched this Death Note will also die. And then the other one was, if somebody uses this Death Note, they must keep writing names in the Death Note every 13 days, or that person will die. Neither of these rules are true. They're both fake that were added on. Light convinced, I think, Ryuk to write them in.
Yes. And you're just like, all right, I'll do it. It'll
He's like,
be
sure,
it'll be
fuck
funny,
it.
though.
It'll be funny.
If
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll get an apple out of it. Yeah, let's do it. So, like, these rules are added in, and then, like, Light did his series of shenanigans to basically make it so that Rem is going to, not only is the detectives going to lean towards suspecting Misa, but Rem is also going to know that the police are suspecting Misa, and Rem will also know that Light is behind it. So, like, a series of things to be like, Rem, you have to start killing now, or else Misa's fucked. I don't understand how. Maybe I was misunderstanding. I don't understand how Rem doing the bullshit to kill L, and first they kill Watari, so Watari's dead, and then that's where L's like, oh, something's wrong. All the data's being deleted. That must mean Watari's dead. And then L dies, just falls over from the Death Note, or the name being written in the Death Note, and I'm just thinking like, okay, that's great and all, but why would that stop the cops from still suspecting Misa? I don't know why they would still look away from that.
I think the idea was that the cops believe the rules, and L was
Doesn't.
uncertain about it and still suspected them.
Oh, you
But
know what?
the
That's
new
true.
rules were supposed to completely rule out Misa and Light from being the Kiras because they didn't kill with the death note for more than 13 days, and the other
And then he was
cops
gonna-
are just
and
stupid, so they were like, yeah,
You're right. No, yeah, you're
cool.
completely
And L
right. I
mentioned,
forgot.
that he was gonna test it with the convict, and Rem was
Yeah.
like, no, that'll
That's what
disprove
I have to
the
stop this
rules."
now, otherwise they're gonna find out that rule's fake, and then all this gets undone. So fuck it, you win, Light. I'll kill L and Watari and maybe some other people. I forget if he killed other or she
She
killed other
says
people.
I gotta write as many names as I can in 40 seconds, and she only gets 2 names down, so it's hard out here.
Yeah, it's rough. And then they like floated out of the
All
room
he
to
could
like
expect from a woman.
Rem floated out of the room to become dust somewhere else for Light to find her death note, which I didn't know that would happen too. The death note just kind of gets left there too in the dust of the Shinigami.
Well,
we
we
know
saw
that
that,
because
though.
we saw the one who killed the
Mis-
stalker who was gonna kill Misa
Yeah.
die, and Rem's like, yeah, I just took his book.
I think I only just assumed that would happen because it was the Shinigami realm. I didn't realize it would also happen in the human realm, but I guess it makes sense.
I genuinely had to I had to do a double take when Light was explaining how all 3 death notes were in the human world because I'd forgotten that Ryuk had stolen one.
Yeah.
So
well,
I was sitting there looking at that
also,
panel.
yeah.
I was sitting there looking at that panel going, how the fuck did Light deduce that there's a 3rd death note? Where did this come from?
well, no, so
Math does math.
Technically, there's 4 death notes because Ryuk has the one that he's actually got, and then there's the one that was stolen, and that's in the mix here. But then there's the 2 that Rem brought in. Rem had their own, and then the one that they left behind from dying. So that's how you get to the 3 that he knows about. But Ryuk also has his one because he had to have 2 for this situation. So shenanigans. Ryuk is causing all these shenanigans, and meanwhile,
I will admit, it's pretty funny.
I hate to admit it, but he's kind of right.
Meanwhile, by the way, the Shinigami who he stole the death note from is probably like, hey, where's my death note?
Oh no,
like,
I'm running out of time. Hold on, I need to get this thing in.
That was a pretty funny, thing to just throw in. Just like,
It
oh
was.
yeah, the person Ryuk stole it from isn't dead. He's just
he's out there.
deserve it.
So, it was so funny.
Now it's
the Shinigami world. These 2 volumes really felt like Dorohedoro again.
Yo.
Yeah.
You know what?
Really
that might be why I
felt
liked it.
That level of shenanigans for these supernatural beings of just not caring. Because Dorohedoro had a very special blend of these very powerful beings that just did not care.
Yeah.
They could give less of a shit about the plots.
Yeah, it really did feel like it. That's a good comparison. I completely forgot about it. But it really does feel like anytime they bring up an issue to end the boss is just like, just go do this thing. I don't know.
Go ask someone else. Why are you bothering me? And then all the other Shinigami are like, bro, are you worried about something? You've got worries? Yikes.
And he starts handing out flyers to get some help and no one's helping. I'll give you my life savings.
That little bit of the handing out flyers just made me think of Dorohedoro. That's where I got it. That is a Dorohedoro bit.
True.
That is a bit pulled straight from there.
Now, I did also just realize, as I said N's name from Dorohedoro earlier, we have an N in both series. There's N over there, and then there's an N here. But this N is near, and that N is EN, I think. So different,
N
slightly.
is near, not N is far.
That's true. That's true. Well,
it's location based.
So L dies, and through Rem shenanigans, which I'm just like, oh, where's the ref on this shit? But it's fine. It's whatever. Light has defeated L through shenanigans. gives him the smirk before as L dies in his arms, and then L's last thoughts are, "I was right all along, but it doesn't matter because you're dead now."
And we don't get that, like, it was so anticlimactic, but it was also just like, I guess because I've had a decade of like
Of mysteries.
hype, build up of the hype, right? Like, oh, it's
Oh.
Light and L. It's the ultimate cat and
No,
mouse
we're done
game.
halfway through already.
But L dies, and then it gets bad after that. But L dies in the game of cat and mouse. Like a decade of listening to that, and we get to it. It's like,
Oh.
he just
Light doesn't even
Now-
do it.
he just collapses. Light didn't do it, and then they move on with a time skip. Okay.
Now, most importantly
Okay.
about the L death scene that I definitely noticed because I've rewatched the anime several times, you don't see what L's real name is. But in the anime, they
Yeah.
show his real name. And his real name is weird. His real name is L.
Ryuzaki Borg?
Loliot. No, it's not Ryuzaki Borg. His real name is L. Loliot. His first name is just the letter L, and his last name is Loliot.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if this is like something that they thought up of later for the anime adaptation or if it's something that's revealed later, but I know in this scene in the anime they show his name is L. Loliot. I remember that because I'm like, oh, that was his name. That's a weird fucking name, but I guess that's whatever.
One of the things that had been interesting when we were reading Oron was we got to see the author talk about how involved they'd been in the creation of the anime. Was that the same for Death Note, or were they like done separately? Do we know?
They were done separate. So I believe the anime started like a bit after the manga ended.
Okay.
So like I'm double checking now. The anime started premiering October 2006, and the manga ended May 2006. So like 5 months after the manga ended, the anime started airing.
Okay.
So they knew all the information at the time. You know, so it's not like they were waiting on new chapters or anything. They knew. I mean, it was probably under production like slightly before it ended, maybe. With scheduling of all that, but yeah. So L dies, and I do agree it's a very scene with that. Like I think it's more impactful in the anime because of the whole. It's like there's freak out music going. There's alarms signaling. People are dying and shit. There's like a whole. It makes it more dramatic. Here you don't really get that because you don't get like the sound factor into that or whatever, but you do still get like the dramatic moment of like L keeling over. But I did appreciate us getting the zoom into Light's face as he's just smirking at him as he dies, and he's going, "No, somebody save him! Quick, guys, we're all gonna get killed. We gotta do something quick." But yeah, so Light beats L, and not only does Light beat L, he now assumes the name L. Because he's like, obviously, we can't let the world know that L is dead. They won't help with the Kira investigation. And as you guys...
No more ice anymore.
Now, obviously, he tried to be like, I wouldn't recommend it myself. So, somebody else should be the new L. And everyone, like, I think Matsuda or whatever, trying to like, what? Light, that has to be you. He even said so, right? Has to be you. Yeah. At some point, I have to think, like, I know, like, Light's dad is never gonna distrust L, but, like...
I wish...
Like, Aizawa or, like, Matsuda or something can't look at this and be like, well, I know Light's been
Matsuda's
helping
never
us
going
out,
to look
but...
at Light with a discerning eye. Aizawa, maybe.
I'm just like... Also, Ide is there, too. I don't even remember Ide. Who the hell is Ide? I know Mogi was there. I didn't remember Ide.
Wasn't Ide like the first person to quit the task force when they realized that,
Oh, I see.
that there was a chance they could die?
You know what? That makes sense, actually.
Ide was the one that went back with Aizawa, like, at that last confrontation with
okay.
with Higuchi. I think that's where
I believe.
Ide
Yeah, that
or
makes sense.
whatever.
That makes sense. Okay. I was trying
He
to remember
reminded
where
me
he was
of
from. That makes
the
sense.
creeper from the original Scooby-Doo series.
Oh my god.
So I had 2 surprises this week.
What's that?
The first was how nonchalant Elle's death was.
Yep.
I was talking to Spaghetti about this, and it really was like, she pointed out how it was exactly like, spoilers, Platinum End,
Oh my god.
where the main villain there dies literally at the halfway mark, and then you
Yep.
just get a new one.
This is a
Yep.
recurring
That's worse.
thing.
Yep. I had the
It's
same
like,
feeling there
so
too.
it's
I was
just
like,
the writer's problem. Okay.
it's the same feeling there too. Metro Polyman, I was like, I think he's a cool villain despite everything else going wrong with the show, and then they just killed him and we move on from that. And then we get random scientist incel bro later.
Yep.
I still think about him occasionally.
The second surprise, now that we are getting into the later half of it, Misa is still alive?
Shit,
Not
despite
only
everything.
that, but she survives a time skip?
Yeah, and
What?
she's not under suspicion of being Kira or associated with Kira. Meanwhile, she's like
I guess-
looking through database photos from her laptop in the room next door to their investigation. The entire fucking she's not like in a different building. She's like in the room next door to the
Nope.
investigation. So
And allegedly,
I guess that
allegedly,
Shinigami that
she's
was
getting
in love
married.
with her first must have had a really long lifespan left.
Yeah,
guess so.
like, because she's done the deal twice now, so, like, I mean, Eve,
She's got a
gotta
quarter
be
She
of
out
had
of the
30
war.
years left. She's down to 7.5. And like living to 50, even as an actress, is pretty reasonable.
Honestly, I was wondering about that initially. It says that she inherited the lifespan left of the Shimigami who had been watching her. And I was like, I wonder how much life the Shimigami who is like consistently and obsessively watching the human world has. Like,
Yeah.
she could have gone 100 years. What does that
Mhm.
like? What does that mean? You know?
Is
And then she,
there-
of course, does the deal twice and halves whatever was left. But
And it's like, if she got those, if she got those years from a Shinigami, which I would just assume is more than a typical human lifespan. I don't know. They
Yeah.
seem pretty careless, so I would think they probably top that up, whenever they can.
Yeah, you know, just
So,
take out 100 years.
they try
Unless
to
you're
have
Cedo.
it not be under 100.
Unless you're Cedo.
Yeah, since they can't even
like-
see each other's lifespans.
Cause but Rem was so like, I would never do the trade with her again. That's the whole reason he had the Death Note swap with Ryuk, because Ryuk would have no qualms about it. But like,
Mhm.
how much does she have left? I mean, surely she's gonna die in the next 2 volumes, right? I don't want her to die, but like,
she can
this
outlast
is Death
us
Note we're
all.
reading.
Like the last panel that we saw this week was, I'm posting it in chat too, Misa just in his
Literally.
like arms wrapped around him as he's just thinking, should I kill Misa right now? This is like right after he's like, you should quit the movie you're doing, and she's like, really? Does that mean
You should
I could
quit the
retire and be
movie
your
marry
wife?
me.
Yes, I'll marry you, so quit your job. Hooray!
Alright.
Goes up to hug him, and then he immediately just starts plotting, like, if it's, like, optimal to kill her now.
Well,
And Ryuk's just like, is that the face you make when you ask someone for marriage? Or-
you humans have some wacky ways to do this shit.
I do
Back in
love
my day.
following Light
sure.
around, going like, "Wow, Light, you're a freak."
I'll show the image to stream too. The should I kill her now panel. like this is the shit that we get with how much Light fucking hates this woman and is only using her.
Hey, chap.
What? What's
You're
up?
the kind of man that would just actually kill you.
No.
I think it was Aztec had pointed out, like, this is not somebody. It was either Aztec or it was Ryuk. They're so similar in my head.
God.
That had been like, this isn't the kind of thing that you say to a woman that loves you, or it was something about the fact that Misa seems very oblivious to whatever like Light is thinking, and I'm like, guys, she's into it. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Like, given how relatively actually intelligent that she has demonstrated that she knows Light's manipulating her and is just like rolling
She's
along
into
with it
it.
because she thinks it's hot. Yeah. I hate to break it to you.
There's also this one.
How come she never
How-
considers
yeah.
that she's being used to?
That one.
Oh yeah,
That
because she's like, oh, this means I won, and Light's like,
I won.
won?
Miso
Yeah, I
wins.
won against this girl, like the 3 other girls you were dating. This means I win. And it goes to, she's like, I knew you were never serious about them. You were just using them. Oh, Ryuk's just like, how come she never considers that she's being used too? Whatever.
No. She's into being used. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to tell. I hate you had to find out this way. But...
We didn't have many Misa panels this week, but some of the ones that we did, I'm like, they're giving Misa like some cute faces or whatever, or they're doing like a gremlin face or whatever.
It's the
Like-
cutest, the cutest.
The artist
It
likes
needs to be the
Misa.
main
The writer,
character.
it does not like Misa. Light will be on the phone with her. Misa will call Light and be like, I have the thing for you. I know who it is. And Light will be like, oh, I guess I got time to go see you and say hi in the room next door. And Misa's just like, oh great, I'll work something sexy for you right now. Quick, I'll get ready. It's like, we're like one room over. What are we doing here? But yes. Okay, so Misa somehow survives. Misa still has the Shinigami eyes. I want to bring up, because there was a discussion about how this affects her lifespan. There was a rule that was also brought up in between chapters, which has not impacted anything yet, but I wanted to bring it up because what the fuck? There's a rule that says, because death notes can change the lifespans of people, Shinigamis are just potentially not actually looking at an accurate representation of lifespans. They will only see the original lifespan before Death Note started fucking with things. So, like, in the past, Rem was like, if I see what her lifespan is right now, if I see it change at all, I will kill you right now. But, like, they wouldn't know, but apparently...
but one of the rules is the Shinigami don't know the fucking rules.
That's true.
It does make sense. If that isn't, like, I thought that was a
stunning.
very good rule to add, or just a note, I guess, to add of like, hey, with using the Death Note, that can have a butterfly effect on other people's lives.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense that a Shinigami of all beings would not see an updated counter. Like,
Yeah.
that means that most people have a unreliable counter.
Yeah, and it made me think, like, does that mean, like, a human with the Shinigami eyes would also be looking at an incorrect lifespan? Or because there's rules regarding how much time is left on people's lifespans for them to work, too. I think one of them was this week, like, you can't kill someone if they're going to die in, like, 17 minutes or something like that. I forget how long it was. It was, like, a certain number of minutes or hours or whatever. If they die within this time, you can't write their name in the notebook.
It was like 12 minutes or something.
Yeah. Little details like that, which they're like minor gripes that really do not impact the story at all for the most part, but I'm just like...
Speaking of Death Note rolls, there's a particularly interesting one this week I thought I'd mention.
What's that?
You can only regain your memories 6 times per Death Note, which that was weird.
Yeah, I think that's because otherwise you don't actually have to, like, own the Death Note. You could just keep accidentally obtaining the Death Note and then killing someone and then removing your memories every time. You can't, like, go full on, like, split personality Death Note owner with this. You can't go doing that.
I still like my idea that half these rules were screw that. Every single one of these rules has been added after somebody did something and it annoyed, like, the Death King or whatever the fuck he is. And it's like, yeah, none of that shit anymore.
We have, like, exact, like, numbers and times for things just because he's just adding, like, patch notes for dumb bullshit that has happened in the past.
Yeah, in, like, the master copy, there's the name of each Shinigami that fucked something up and made this rule exist.
You have a source for each rule.
Have we seen, like, the Master Shinigami? Because I feel like he's been mentioned a couple of times, but, like, we don't
I don't think
know.
so.
No, I don't think so.
We saw Justin this time.
I love Justin.
Like, can you stop giving death notes to, like, 7-year-olds?
All these weird ass
kid,
names. This guy's just fucking Justin. What the hell?
What did he say his name? He tried to call him, like,
Harmonia Justin. Yeah, Armano Justin. No, it's Harmonia Justin.
It's Harmonia Justin. I don't know if that's a reference to something. He's like some jeweled Shinigami thing, whatever.
Skeleton man.
I'm assuming it's some sort of reference to something. I don't know shit about it. Ass.
He's a Dorohedoro character.
He does. Actually.
True.
But yeah, okay, so Misa survives. What was the other detail? Oh, so okay. Light is now also L and is being Kira at the same time. Obviously, this is a great position to be in. You get to be Kira and the guy looking for Kira. Easy. You can control everything. Except not easy, because the timer has run out on the countdown for if you do not hear anything from Watari or L after like 20 days or something, send an alert to the whammy house.
Send in the boys.
Send in the boys. We send a message to an orphanage in England, which its only purpose is to raise like insanely intelligent children into potentially determining who the next successor for L will be. Of course, we just have this over there. So we've just established this to figure out who the next heir is going to be. Now they're getting the notice L is dead. If you think that there's a current L, that is a fake. So they now know that the current L is not the real L because they've gotten the alert that L is dead. So they're like, okay, let's call in the next people that were in line for this. We got 2 candidates. We got Nier and Mello. These are our new people that are trying to catch Kira. Nier and Mello. Very. Yeah. Can you believe
Yagami
that?
has to battle the entire alphabet. They don't tell you about this.
Yeah, it's
What happened
Scott,
to the first one?
Scott Pilgrim and the we don't talk about that. Okay, listen. A lot of things happened. A lot of things happened.
We
Okay?
loop back.
So
It's like hurricane names.
I was just thinking of like Scott Pilgrim and the 7 Evil X's. If you have to fight the whole alphabet, now you gotta go through all of the orphanage. Listen, we bring all these people in, we assign them a new name based on the letter that's available. That's all. That's fine. So we have N for Nier, Mello M, although Mello's not referring to himself as M. So Nier is appointed as the new successor for L. Not really, because like they really seem to want it. It kind of looked like Nier was like disinterested in a lot of things. He just wanted to solve the case or whatever. Mello is very upset all the time, it seems. Mello is... So, Nier and M are both very high scoring at this institute, I guess. But Nier is, like, first in line for this job, or, like, the first highly recommended for this job, because they scored higher, and Mello is always second to Nier. And this has made Mello very jealous of Nier. And basically, Mello just goes, "Fuck it." Clearly, Nier is the pick, is probably the one that L would have chosen. So fuck it, you could be the next L. I'm just gonna go do my thing. Mello's own thing is running with mafia boys and then using them to try to capture Kira on his own.
I like mentioned that it's suggested, hey, what if we just have you 2 work together?
And he's like, no, fuck no. Yeah, Nier's
just...
like, yeah, that's fine by me. And Mello's like, no, gross. I fucking hate that guy. Hell no. Yeah, so the other details, so like Mello is like a fucking gangster type dude, is eating chocolate though. We have to have the little quirkiness to them that L had, where L's always like eating sugar stuff. Yeah.
I need to mention this panel specifically because look, but I finally put something together.
What about it? It's a picture of Mello chewing chocolate.
It looks like he's doing the light Yagami. I'll take a chip and eat it.
The light smirk. Okay, yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna take some chocolate and eat it.
The difference would be that it would be milk chocolate versus dark chocolate. Do you guys think Mello is a milk chocolate or a dark chocolate kind of person?
Mello's probably a dark chocolate.
It's carrot.
Maybe.
Dark chocolate all the way.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page about that.
Okay.
Second part of the story.
But Mello's like the wild card version. These are like...
Hey, Shadow, you know what? You can tell a lot... So sorry, chap. You can tell a lot about people based on what kind of chocolate they like. For example, milk chocolate prefers are pussies. Okay, I want my chocolate with a little bit of bitter to it. That's why I drink coffee. Okay, if you like milk chocolate, you're a coward. I'm not afraid to say it.
Okay, so
I
why
don't
you just
endorse
hate
this.
chocolate,
I don't
though?
endorse these
What do you
views,
do?
by the way.
Where do you put them on the spectrum?
Where you put who?
That depends. Do you not like chocolate because you're allergic to it, or do you not like chocolate because you're a freak?
It's because he's a freak.
You know the answer.
I have to ask. I know people that are allergic to chocolate.
No,
Shadow is not
I'm so
allergic to
freak.
chocolate. Shadow is just
I'm
not
curious to
eating
know
chocolate.
where white chocolate falls.
Why not? That's chocolate.
Your mic is breaking up here. I can't.
No, we heard you perfectly fine.
We didn't
That's
hear you,
all.
Andy.
White chocolate isn't chocolate.
If your sentiment was that it is not, in fact, chocolate, then yes, I agree.
All right, fair enough.
White chocolate's
great.
White chocolate is great as long as you're not trying to compare it to like chocolate, because it's not chocolate.
Yeah.
It doesn't have cocoa in it.
Can I get
Shadow-
some cocoa-less chocolate?
Your bar of sugar and milk? Okay.
Yes, thank you. I will take that. Is there a problem? Hello?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Slightly.
Okay. Chocolate choices aside here, okay? Psychoanalyzing chocolates aside, alright? Mello is biting on that and, like, doing mafia shit. Fuck it. The wild card here of the detectives here. Mello's not dumb, though. Mello is just, like, does not mind running with bad crew people, like, on their team, and then also, like, is not like
Mel's like 18 or something, so they can't draw him smoking.
Yeah, they're like the rebellious kind of like fuck this shit. You guys are playing too much by the rules to solve this fucking case. I'm gonna do my own shit. I'm gonna do the wild card to solve this case to beat Nier, cause fuck Nier. I hate that guy. And Nier's just like
necessary.
Meanwhile, Nier, as we mentioned before, Nier is just like little tiny child that will like also be sitting awkwardly like L does, but like solving
He's inherited
like pure white jigsaw puzzles and stacking,
like a psycho.
building
Stacking
giant
dominoes.
giant like cities of like dominoes or dice or whatever and shit, and
Nice.
doing like Gunpla shit. Why not? Nier is like baby child looking creature, and but it's like and their hair is always like messy as shit, but is like twirling it around or whatever as they're like thinking through stuff or whatever. This is like this is where when Andy was thinking before about like why is there no like age regression L stuff here, I always think like because Nier exists. This is just L but baby version.
Because if you look up age regression on AO3, it is all Nier and Mello. I'm not joking. I knew these two characters existed. I hate them. I hate them. They're so annoying.
That's the answer. Stop looking up age regression on AO.
But no, yeah. For all intents and purposes, Nier is basically a like baby version of L. In my view, like it's just the baby version of L, and then Mello is just like a random other person that's here, but also I guess smart.
He's the Edgelord.
But both of them are trying to solve the case in their own weird ways. So Nier has like formed Nier has deduced through the information of the fact that they know that the current L is a fake and that Watari is also dead or whatever. Nier's been able to deduce a whole bunch of information. The big thing being we cannot trust the Japanese force that's looking into this. I don't know what's going on over there, but they're pretending to be L right now, so we can't trust that shit. So we're going to start a task force with America instead. The American task force will start the SPK, which I think is like the special police for Kira or something like that. I forget what it was called.
Yeah.
So that's the American version of that task force. So
American.
So we have the American task force that's looking for Kira now, and Mello is also trying to find Kira at the same time, but is doing it in a much more attention, I'm fucking here, motherfuckers kind of way, which starts off this whole arc pretty much. So we time skip. I forget how long the time skip is. It's like 4 years, something like that, probably. We do the time skip.
The Yotsuba group. We kill the two guys that are working for L.
Yes,
who also-
that was a detail I'd completely forgotten about. I knew the Yotsuba group all died, but I forgot that the Wedi and the Iber or whatever, the two people, the conman and the thief that were helping out L, they were also just killed by Kira. Wedi, they said, died from a motorcycle accident, and Iber, they said, died from a battle with cancer, I think, or something. They died from some sort of medical battle, so they just clearly wrote disease, and then...
Yeah, liver cancer.
Yeah.
In France.
Yes. So, yeah, so Light has pretty powerful position, but of course is mostly trying to lean towards letting Kira still keep getting away, but while still make it look like they're making progress in the investigation, but they're really not. And this gets noticed by like Nier and Mello, where they're just like, yeah, you guys are like doing a terrible job at, like, you guys are blatantly incompetent with like what you guys have been doing lately in your investigation. It's a little sus how incompetent you guys are being with all this, actually, if I were to say. But yeah, Mello starts things off by kidnapping the director of the NPA.
NPA, yeah.
So they get kidnapped. Then the director of the NPA dies because fucking...
Whoops.
They demand... Okay, they say, okay, we will give you back the director if you give us the murder notebook. And they're like, fuck, how do they know about the murder notebook? We didn't tell anybody about the murder notebook. How do they know about the murder notebook? So Kira's just like... I say Kira, this is Light. Light's just like, if I just kill the director, we don't have to give the notebook. Easy.
Exactly.
So they do. They're like, hey, boss, the guy we kidnapped, yeah, he like killed himself like 3 minutes ago. I don't know what that was about. And they're like, must have been Kira, I guess. Go kidnap the daughter of the Yagami instead. Well, get a different person for us to have kidnapped real quick. And they're like, yeah, sure, boss, on it. And then they do that. They kidnap they kidnap Light's sister. And now it's like, well, fuck. Now they took the sister. What am I gonna do? And I thought, like, that was probably the only reason why he wouldn't have killed his sister, but, like, it goes to his thoughts, he's like, no, I wouldn't mind killing my sister, but if I kill her now, it'll definitely look like I'm L, or I'm Kira. It'll definitely look like I'm Kira, so I can't do that right now. They'll suspect me or somebody else in our task force is Kira if she dies now, because nobody else pretty much knows that she's been kidnapped. So what do I do?
I kill my dad and my sister. It's so sus on me.
He's like, it'd be easy though. It would solve everything, but that part's sus. I wouldn't mind doing it.
And then once it's all over, he's like, well, once it's almost all over, he's like, oh, well, if I had actually let him tell the police force, then I could have sacrificed both of them and I'd still have the death note.
Oh my god. What? I'm so stupid. Why didn't I think of that already?
I could kill like half my family. Gone away with it.
Which, by the way, I did think it was weird that we spent a little bit of time. Light's sister Sayu like comes to the task force place for a bit, or they go to visit or whatever, the house or something. And Sayu is like talking to Matsuda and everybody, and they're being like, "Wow, Sayu, you've grown up so much," or whatever. There's a weird joke about Matsuda dating Sayu or whatever, and Sayu just rejecting him in front of everybody and all that.
Oh yeah, that whole thing was weird as fuck.
And I'm just like, wow, this is a lot of detail.
Like I was liking Matsuda up until that point.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, this is a lot of detail for Sayu that we never got before, and I don't remember happening in the anime before. Oh, no, it's because she gets kidnapped. Oh, it's just because she gets kidnapped immediately after, and we have to like have feelings for this person that's gotten kidnapped apparently, or be like a little connected with her. Because Light sure as fuck doesn't give a fuck about his sister, so we as the reader need to at least meet her. Yeah, true. We as the reader have to meet her.
We have to see her as a viable romantic option somehow.
Oh, what? Oh, of course. That's just how that works. Okay, you can't have a
connected to a girl.
Yeah, for you can't have a girl in this manga without that. What do you mean? I'm Tsugumi Ohba. What are you talking about? Yeah, so Sayu gets kidnapped. It's a whole situation where they're just like, okay, well, Light's dad's gonna go try to do the negotiation. I guess we are just gonna bring the death note and potentially exchange it with them, but we're not like entirely sure if we like what we're gonna do to stop it from happening, but we would like to like save her still. So like, how are we gonna do this? And they're like working together with Nier on the phone, and Nier is very clearly just like, hey, I know you're the second L, so there's no need to give me that bullshit. I know you're not the original L. We'll cooperate with you about this, but like, I'm not really helping you. Because I don't trust you guys. You guys suck at your job. So we'll like help you guys with this situation, but it's mostly because we want the Death Note. So through their combined forces trying to do this, they are able to use like satellites or whatever and all this to like track.
Wait, hold on.
the
I
journey.
need to mention this, by the way.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this. The Japanese police have invented technology that lets them like hear other people's phone calls.
Yes.
They mentioned this, and
They
like,
did.
you guys just do that on the side? Is that just something you do?
Well, I mean, this is not unheard of at all for government agencies to be like bugging everything. This is famously.
I saw that technology myself. You just pick up the phone while the other person's on it.
That's true. That's true.
Famously, Shadow, governments spend a lot of money to secretly develop technology to spy on other people, including their own people.
I'm
Yes.
putting big quotes around secretly.
Secretly. We
Secretly and quote unquote secretly.
it was a whole thing. We had quite a number of people expose some of the stuff in the past. It's I mean, we've already pretty much known, but now it's like known, and it's not like they stopped using it after that too, by the way. So yeah, so this is not unheard of, but I guess it's impressive that Light just developed it on the side himself.
Yeah,
is
you
what
know.
it sounded like.
Like Yagami, famous inventor.
Although
we're up there with Edison.
Although, as Aztec mentioned, it kind of sounded like he just invented it for like this certain set of phones to be able to listen in on each other's calls.
Yeah.
And which I was just like, I feel like I've seen several like spy shows that just had this working with like an earpiece or whatever. Like you just constantly have earpieces going that are always listening
But
to
Chap,
shit.
the Japanese police are incompetent, don't you know?
That's
and
true.
Light made them all.
True. How could I not have known? Listen.
That
The whole
patent money rolling in.
the
on
journey.
Kira- The Kira project.
the journey that they took for this negotiation was like fucking extra, which I was just like, okay, so it's to show us that Mello is like still smart about these dealings, but also like there's like a lot of steps involved with this. First of all, okay, you have to take Chief Yagami have to get on a plane to LA. But actually, the plane's not going to LA for you. We have the somehow we have the pilots on the radio saying like, yeah, we're not going to LA at first. This is not a hijacking. I'm just hijacking it for a little bit, and I'm just like, this is still hijacking. you are hijacking the. He's like, no, this is not a hijacking. I'm just controlling it for a bit to go somewhere else, and then we can go back to LA. Don't worry.
If I take something from you without asking and then give right back to you, it's not stuff.
If you have tied up your co-pilot next to you, I feel like you're hijacking the plane. I don't know. I feel like this is a hijacking. But anyways,
it's not hijacking if he's into it.
Oh, okay, I see. So anyways, the plane gets taken.
Hijacking.
The plane gets taken to, which by the way, the whole task force was planning to go to LA, but they were like trying to go through different planes to get there. You go on this plane, you go on this plane, this go on this plane. Yagami's dad was actually supposed to go on a different plane, and then some dude goes up to him from behind. He's like, okay, you're following me. We're going on a different flight. This different flight happened to be the same flight that somebody else on their team was also going on at the same time. So he was able to like report about what was happening here. Then the plane gets quote-unquote hijacked to drop off Light's dad in the middle of a desert somewhere before continuing on their flight. And then they tell him, okay, now from here, you can call your people, have them figure out how to get a helicopter there to be your ride home later, I guess. You're gonna go to this underground facility now that's about to open up behind you. Your daughter's gonna be down there, but you slide the Death Note through this like thing that's like what it looks like one of those
it's a revolving
yeah, it's a revolving door.
You're going to see at hotels.
Yeah, so like the revolving door here mechanism for this hostage exchange where they can test the Death Note without fully taking the Death Note, so that they can then confirm that it's real, and then slide the revolving door to both give them the Death Note and release the daughter at the same time, while having the face be
happening in
colored.
Nevada.
Okay, I didn't remember if they said exactly where it was, but yes.
Wait, is Area 51 in Nevada or New Mexico?
I think it's New Mexico.
Nevada.
I'm pretty sure they're not at Area 51 right now, to be clear. I'm pretty sure they did not land at Area 51. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm pretty sure there would be a lot.
The entire time?
They're behind the aliens.
I'm like
Wait,
99.
Should your aliens?
That I could believe, actually. That I could believe. Listen, I'm like 99% sure that Mello would not have this be hosted at Area 51, where there would be government agents at more quickly.
No, but yeah, it'd be really funny, though.
Okay. So the hostage exchange happens, but then we're not done yet. The Death Note now has to go on a missile, while the guy who took the Death Note, after putting on the missile, like, goes in a helicopter. Then they blow up the helicopter because fuck that guy, I guess. the Death Notes
kill the
go.
helicopter pilot,
I think it was. I think killing. Yeah, they kill the airplane pilot later. The helicopter person gets exploded or whatever. They kill a random dude in their group to test out the Death Note. They kill all these people, I'm assuming, especially the people that aren't just that one dude in the group that they just didn't like. They just killed him because they didn't like him. Everybody else they killed because I think they didn't want...
selling something behind their back, I think. I think that's what that was the thing.
Yeah, he was like, he's been selling drugs behind her back, and also, I fucking, I always had a problem with that guy. But, like, everybody else, I think they killed because of, they didn't want the police or Kira to be able to figure out who they are from them afterwards, and they're like, these guys are scumbags anyway, so we'll just kill them, probably. This is probably why they did it.
I think I mentioned this at the end of Summertime Rendering, and I think I mentioned this at the end of Dorohedoro.
It's a recurring pattern, I see.
And I feel like it's maybe a little early for me to be saying this, but putting the Death Note on the missile to try and mask the location that it was going to very much felt like the author had written himself into a corner, and he needed to pull the most absurd shit out of his ass to be able to write himself out of that corner. And again, like, I think this just ties a little bit into what we were saying earlier about, like, the fact that, like, Elle, like, died literally halfway through the series. Like, usually it takes until the final big climactic fight for me to feel that way. I felt that way for most of this reading. Was the author had come to a conclusion, gone, shit, wait, I have more story to tell, and then had to find a way to tell that story, and it's not a very good story.
Look at
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Is a couple of steps ahead, okay? It you Death Note, okay, they get to in the middle, okay? We got more things to do.
I like what you.
We're only halfway through.
What do you mean? What do you mean we're only halfway through, bro? What more is there?
That's now you understand how me and Chap felt when we were watching Platinum End.
Not how I felt, I joined for like the last 5 episodes, and I was very confused.
This is literally what it felt like, where they had the big climactic finale halfway through the series. And you're like,
And it's not even like a big finale. It's just like a, we're done with that now finale. We're gonna move on now kind of finale with that. And then we just continue on. Like, there's just more story to tell.
We have more adventures to go on. Kira's up to no good again.
So yeah, we get a lot of scenes. Mello gets the Death Note. Mello is just
eating chocolate.
We get to see, like, Mello eat chocolate and, like, I guess try to aura farm with, like, the various different forms of drip that we see them wearing. It'll just, like, it'll focus on that, and it'll focus on Mello eating chocolate or whatever, which apparently the eating chocolate was important. It was actually integral to the plot here
That's
as
how
well.
you know it's him. You can hear him on the mic eating chocolate.
Nier's trying to question to be like, I might know who did this. He goes to on the phone, goes to Elle's dad. Not L. Well, technically L now. Technically, I'm correct now. Every time I say L instead of Light, I'm correct now. Okay. Every time, so Nier talks to Light's dad and is like, so did you hear anything? Do you remember anything? No, I don't remember. Oh no. Did you hear anything specifically? Did you hear like he was eating something? He's like, well, maybe like a crunch. Well, maybe a crunch. I think at some point, like he was eating chocolate. Well,
and this
I guess
in the thing I posted of Mel eat chocolate. That's the one.
There's the most leading question in the universe. It's like, yes, thank you for confirming the thing I'm telling you to say.
And even Kira on the phone is just like, the fuck is that hyper-specific question? They must know exactly who's behind this. And at that point, Kira's just like, hey, you guys weren't involved in this, were you? And Nier's like, I wish we were. We want the death note.
I wish it was that fucking good, dude.
I fucking wish we were. God damn,
I wish I could put the death note on a fucking missile like a psycho.
We wanted it, but instead you guys were fucking idiots and gave it to them. I didn't think you guys would just give it to them, no issue or whatever. What the fuck? I can't believe you guys did that. Well, we're definitely not helping you guys out now, but I guess maybe we'll exchange info with you for reasons still. I forget what the reasons were. They'll tell them more about the rules of the Death Note if they tell them who they suspect took it. This is where they find out more about the Whammy House, and then they look into the Whammy House, and apparently Mello, of course, is still smart as well. Everything was for Mello to get the Death Note, and Mello succeeded in that. Just had to use gangster connections to get there with that. And also, the eating the chocolate loudly was calculated as a taunt towards Nier. To be like, hey, motherfucker, I got the Death Note. What are you gonna do now, buddy? I'm one step ahead of the investigation. This is important.
Yeah, so now that L is dead, the cat and mouse game is not between Light and L. It's between Nier and Mello.
And Light is just kind of here for the ride.
Light's just the third wheel that's like just trying to figure out what's happening this entire time.
Pissed at being the third wheel.
The important...
he knows he's the third wheel too.
He hates it.
And the important factor here with this shift now is not the fact that it's just a cat and mouse. It's like it's cat and mouse now, because now there's two people with Death Notes that do not mind using the Death Note. So, Light has no idea what the fuck Mello's gonna write in the Death Note. And now they're like, this other person could actually kill me with the Death Note too if I fuck up at all. So how do I approach this to get this back properly under these conditions, while also not putting myself under suspicion as being Kira? How do I do this? Most of the stuff he's been doing before has been like, I'll just do something, and then as L, I'll just say Kira probably did it, because it'll be true. But like, they won't suspect it's me if I say Kira probably did it. But it depends on how much people know this information, because if only we know the information, they're going to suspect I'm Kira. So I gotta leak the information first somehow to other people, and then I can do things as Kira. Details like that. But yeah, now we have Mello and Nier are like the main focuses, and they're pretty much really competing as themselves now, and Light's just there like, well, I got one less Death Note now, but I have Misa's eyes, and that's the important thing. The eyes are like the biggest factor in all of this, because with the eyes, he could just kill people just by seeing their face. So all he needs is a picture of them, and he's been able to determine the people involved with the group that stole the Death Note. Also, Misa's eyes were able to help determine who the current owner of the Death Note is. This is basically the only way that they were able to find the location of them, was through Misa searching through photos of like known mob associates or whatever, criminals for like ever, until she saw someone whose name was there but not their lifespan. If you can see their name and lifespan, they don't own the Death Note. If you can see nothing, then they're dead. If you see just the name, that means they own a Death Note. So she looks and sees random dude in their group owned the Death Note because he was just happened to be the next person who grabbed it.
I do like that Ryuk is just like hanging out with her and being like, well, if you can't see either, he's dead. And they're just chatting back and forth about it while she's looking through the database. It's like he's not. Ryuk's not helpful to Light or anything, but he's just like sitting here like reminding Misa, like, if you can't see either, he's dead.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I guess you don't live long as a mob. In the mob.
Yeah, Ryuk just wants to.
Technically, Ryuk is her Shinigami now, but he is like more chatty with her. Because Misa is great, okay, and everyone appreciates her except Light,
literally,
and kind of L too, yeah. But you know.
Hey, listen.
Actually, I remember earlier on, L's like, mate, she fucking confessed to you. You can go have a love life, you know. You like we're done here, more or less.
I would like to read aloud what Aztec said before he went to bed. Good night, Aztec. I hope you feel better.
Yes.
He said, my main takeaway for this week is that I hope the ending is either A, some random Shinigami with no relation to anything going on randomly kills Light, or B, Misa gets sick of his shit and does it herself.
But Andy,
V Cinema. Okay.
Get you the kind of woman that will actually kill you.
True.
You think a woman could do anything in this story?
There's a chance. There's a chance. All right.
Ignore that a woman killed L.
What was the one line that they said this week? Light was with Misa, being like, "Oh, Misa, your eye." Like after she like used the eyes to find out who the owner of the Death Note is.
Your eyes are so important to us.
Eyes are a treasure. They're so important. And the camera pans over to Ryuk, going, "Huh, just her eyes, huh?" Misa doesn't care though. Misa's like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad I was able to help. Oh my god." Yeah, the Mello situation's a little wacky over there, but Mello's taking the lead. He's got the Death Note.
He's killing other mobsters.
Meanwhile, as we mentioned earlier, the actual owner of the Death Note is like actively looking for the Death Note. He went through talking with the other Shinigamis to be like, "Hey, so what should I like do? If like Ryuk had it, does that mean it's on Earth? If it's on Earth, I have to find it.
Find Ryuk.
All right." Finds Ryuk. He's like, "Hey, give me my Death Note." He's like, I don't have it." What do you mean? I want to also say that guy Sito, this new Shinigami we got here. In the anime, I think they gave him like a nasally voice in like the dub. I think he's just like a nasally voiced Shinigami. Like, give me.
He like, looks like he would sound like that. I fear.
He would sound like a nerd who would just show up and be like, "Hey, give me back my Death Note. Give me back my Death Note. Come on." But it finds Ryuk, and Ryuk's just like, "Oh, that sucks, buddy. I don't have it anymore. I know I took it from you. It's not my problem anymore. I don't even know who has it right now." But you know, if you like, oh, by the way, he shows up in front of Ryuk when like Light's in the room too, and he's like, "Hold on, I gotta leave the room for a second. It's funnier if Light has no idea about this dude real quick."
Hey, Light, I'm gonna go see the sights of LA. Yeah,
it's completely different from like where Rem would do anything to help Misa. This is just like, hold on, this is gonna be content. I gotta leave the room real quick and talk to this guy for a second without Light knowing.
What was interesting to me about that is like it seems like Misa like notices Ryuk talking to the Shinigami later.
Mm-hmm.
He like says something and Misa makes like the little exclamation point noise looking back at him. And then says nothing. Yeah. Honestly hilarious.
Yeah, so like he's talking with Sito. Sito's just like, "All right, I guess I gotta like follow you guys until you guys figure out who the person is. Actually, if I look down from the Shinigami world, it's easier to identify the location of somebody, but I can do it instantly if I know their like name and face or whatever, or just face."
And Ryuk's like, "Don't worry, we got a whole bunch of guys looking for him. Just don't worry, we'll find them."
We got the America and Japanese police forces looking, and Sito's just like, "Wow, that's complicated." It's like, yeah, it sure is.
Complicated down here.
It's pretty fucking entertaining, buddy. I'm just saying.
Also, Zito's perfected our trifecta of there's
Yeah,
three
pulled
kinds
out
of
the
people.
rules.
There's
Pulled-
Rem who knows the rules. There's Shito who like has them on him.
Yeah,
And
Zito
there's Rita
brought
who's
the
just, like,
rules.
all in it.
See, just like I talked with Justin. Justin just knew the rules. Okay, so my boy Justin brought down the rules for me. So I just, I got the rules here. Looks into the. Cito eventually finds Mello, talks to Mello. Like, first of all, Cito's like, "Fuck, they can't see me. I own the Death Note, but they can't see me until the original owner touches it for a second, and then other people touch it. I'm just gonna grab it out of Mello's hands real quick."
I have the
Mello's
pen.
just like watching it happen out of like curiosity while eating the chunk. Is like, what the fuck's going on now? And like drops it on the owner's head, picks it up. Owner's freaking the fuck out, be like, "Oh, what the fuck is this creature doing here? Did you guys get a new recruit?" Throws it back at fucking other people, and they're just like, "Oh shit!" Or they're the creature's saying you can see the creature if you like touch it. And they're like, "I don't know if we should touch it. We've already touched it already. Let's just touch it again. Fuck it." And then they all see it, and they're like,
I really liked how later in that scene, Mello, I think, is like, "Can you tell me anything about this like other fucking guy and like his Death Note?" And Cheeto is like, "I think so. Hold on a second." Turns around and flips through his rules manual, and then is like, "Actually, no, I can't. Sorry."
It specifically flips through the rules, and it says, "If you do this, you will die. Severe penalties here. You will get tortured and then die. Do not do this." He's like, "No, I don't think I can tell you about this, sir."
Comedy, pure comedy, like pure Dorohedoro comedy.
That's what I'm saying. Where like the first half of this really felt like it was trying to take itself seriously and be like, "Oh, like here are these mind games," and now we're officially into like whatever the fuck the first thing came to the guy's head was. This weird
chocolate. Mel makes a new friend. Not too bad.
That said, I can't be mad because I do love Shito.
Honestly, when I watched Death Note with Shep, I didn't like Mel too much. I'm warming up to him just a little bit.
Mello's a pretty fun character when you like think in the grand scheme of how fucking much of a wild card Mello is, and like the whole shenanigans that was going on that side of things. But it is still like a very different like story after L dies.
That's what it is. It's like these should be two different mangas. There should be like this first half that's like part 1 or whatever, and it's advertised as a different genre than what this second part is, because like it genuinely feels like a bad continuation or like a really bad season 2
because we do have like basically the like spiritual continuation of it through like N investigating the situation near, but like Nier's like on the sidelines of this for the most part right now, and it's focusing a lot on Mello, and Mello is just, what if a criminal caught the Death Note and wants to catch the original owner, the original Kira? What if a criminal got the Death Note? What do we do with that? What if the criminal got it and also like was doing wacky as fuck shenanigans? What if this is just a comedy on that side of things?
I also like to mention that when the guy first sees Cito, the guys are like, "Hey, Jack, you doing right? You've been doing too much crack."
Yeah. What are you doing, boy? Too much crack lately? No. And they're like, they have Cito explain the rules of the Death Note to them. And they're like, "Yeah, so 2 of those rules are just fucking fake. I don't know who. Somebody must have wrote them. Probably Ryuk. Yeah, but 2 of those rules are just fake as fuck. They're just not real rules. They just did it probably for
my Death Note. How rude."
They probably did it for entertainment. Yes, this is exactly why it was written. But, but then also he explains, like, there's also the Shinigami eye deal. And they're like, "Oh, the eye deal? All right, so that explains everything. So that's how Kira's been killing people with just a face. Hey, Jack, you're going to do the eye deal for us." He's like, What? But that's like half my life. Would you rather die right the fuck now? You're doing the eye deal, buddy. He's like, "All right, fine." Good to know. You're really my right-hand man here. Definitely wouldn't kill you if you didn't do it. That whole situation. I don't even understand. The moment that they just killed dude that was just standing next to them in their group, I was just like, okay, this is just gonna be comedy on this side of things. All right, this is just wacky fucking gang shenanigans. This is like the business bros have the death note and are like calculating the like correct deaths to do to not be suspected while also meanwhile the gangsters are just like, yeah, they already know we got it. Fuck it, let's just start killing our enemies or whatever. Yeah, fuck it. Who fucking cares? Yeah. And by the way, once they get it, they immediately kill pretty much like everybody that was working with Nier. I think there was like a few that survived, but I guess they had a spy there that was working for Nier.
I think the spy's name was Rat, which is like, okay, you're just born with the worst name of all time apparently.
I wonder what we could have done. This is like Kojima. This is like Kojima names here, okay? Hideo Kojima.
This is Agent Rat.
Snitch Rat Man. I wonder who was the snitch. So yeah, Nier's just like on the phone with Light, being like, so you guys let the Death Note go. What do you guys are useless. Meanwhile, there's like gunshots happening, and Light's just like, what was that? He's like, so there was a spy here, and they just basically killed everybody here. So like they have the Death Note, and they just killed everybody in my squad now. They just killed...
Also, a domino tower fell. Oh no.
So I'm still not working with you guys, just to let you know. I just gotta remake my squad real quick, I guess. Because now they're gone. Not everybody's gone. I won't tell you exactly how many there are now, but there's not many. Meanwhile, we have the police? Not the... I'm sorry. I feel like I said the police. I meant the president of the United States. Is now a key character in this too for this arc, where Mello just phones up the president because you got the murder notebook. Fuck it, I guess you could somehow get a connection to the president now. Whatever. The president picks up the phone and is like, "Okay, this is a secured line. What's going on here?" It's like, "Yeah, so I got the murder notebook. I'm gonna write your name in the murder notebook and have you like send out the nukes before you die too,
no,
which will cause World War III."
He says if you reject the offer, you'll be written down as the worst president in the world.
By the way, you talked about Rat being a fucking name before. The president's name was like David Hope.
Yeah.
With like 2 O's or whatever. So it's Hoop? I was like, Hoop? This is Hope? I feel like it's supposed to be pronounced Hope. But yeah, so it's President Hope is on the phone, and there was a whole situation with that where he's like, listen, you gotta do what I say now, otherwise I'll kill you and make you the worst president in history. He's like, fuck, I can't let the world be in danger like this. Okay. So they're like, okay, you need to give me information on the SPK that you might know. You're giving that
also,
to me now.
I want weapons. I want military weapons. I want nukes. I want
funding. I want weapons. But I can't do that without that. You can make up some story. You can do. You're the president. I'm sure you can figure it out.
You're the president. You're good at lying.
I'm sure
much like all politicians.
You didn't get to become the president just for no reason. You have to be like smart with what you're doing, right? And I'm thinking about today's like, I don't know about that one today. I don't know. But this was written in 2006. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Like Japan had an interesting view of America back in the day.
Who was 2006? Was this Bush still? I don't know. That's David Hope right there.
And then the president calls up L.
So yeah, the president then calls up L. It's like, L, I'm gonna need some help here, and L's like, all right, is it the kidnappers or was it Nier? Who's threatening you now? It's like, how does he know? How did he know I'm in trouble here? As he's like probably like calling him, like shaking on the phone, like, L, I need to talk to you for a second. So, by the way, I want to mention real quick the fact that like for that scene it kept zooming into the call button that Light uses. There's just a button for the L voice and a button for the Watari voice, apparently. We don't hear it because we're reading the manga, but he just has different buttons for the different voices. He's like, oh, we're receiving a call. Okay, answer as Watari. Okay, a call from the president. Okay, switch it over to L now. All right, it's L here. What do you got, Mr. President?
What's the matter, Mr. President?
Oh, that's fine, Mr. President. I'll help you out. I got you. So we'll get the Death Note. Just give me some like armed forces in secret. We'll figure out where he is. We got this. We'll figure it out for you. Any information you got on the SBK or whatever? I forget if he asked for information too, but the president's just like, I don't know what's going on with the SBK. I like fund it, but like they don't tell me shit. That's kind of on purpose. They're like smart with what they do over there. So somehow through this process and Misa looking through the database until she eventually found the owner of the Death Note. That's the real way that they found out where they are. They wrote the person's name in the Death Note, had them, whenever they like left their hideout, send a letter to Misa, which said the exact address of where they were, but like tried to hide it by making it look like an anonymous fan letter. So they got like the letter saying exactly where their hideout is, and then they send the squad over to there. I don't know how they explained. I don't remember if they explained how they found the location, because I don't know how you explain that you found the location for him, but somehow they pull it through.
Like, Mr. President, okay, it's top secret info, okay, and only the Japanese police know this kind of tech. I invented it actually too. Okay, I got pen on this.
So they send in the squad to try to go raid the place, but ref do something. Another Shinigami is just doing some bullshit here. Sido has, because Light has figured out who owns the Death Note now, Sido was able to find and go to them first, and then did the whole like, alright, I'm just gonna grab the Death Note and all that kind of stuff, introduce myself, explain that some of this is bullshit. Then they're just like, hey, can you like go out in the hall and like watch? If you want the Death Note faster, I'll give it to, we'll help you get it. Just go out into the hall, and if anybody shows up, you just like expose their face to the camera so that we can just kill them. It's like, alright, if it gets me the Death Note back faster, fine, I'll do it. So yeah, they're going in, they have like the helmets on, but then like Sido just keeps pulling the helmets off of them and then like showing their face to the camera and all that, and does it for like all of them while they can't see him. And basically all of them die. And they're like, well, shit, this operation is fucked. And then Light's like, this must mean that there's a Shinigami there. Ryuk, why didn't you tell me there was a Shinigami? Another Shinigami. He's like, I don't know. I didn't see the guy before. I guess it must be the original Death Note. Or just try to act like he doesn't know anything. I don't know. Why didn't you tell me before? I think there was another panel that, there was like some, no, I think it was with Matsuda. There's like some like slight line where they like call Matsuda useless or something like that. I was trying to think if there was lines where they call Ryuk useless, but we have a couple of these on occasion. I just couldn't remember the exact
Earlier
ones this
they
time.
say, I think the dad is asked about who Light is, or who L is.
Oh yeah, who the current L is. And Matsuda types his name in the computer.
Matsuda types, oh, it's Matsuda, but he's incompetent. He's just like a figurehead.
They're like, the chief has no problem saying that when I'm like, oh, it's Matsuda. Of course, it's Matsuda. He's kind of dumb with his investigation, though. And Matsuda's just like, damn, I sure hope I'm not killed. And he's like, I'm fine so far. Yeah, so far I'm good. I'm trying to think what else there was here, because I think it pretty much wrapped up with the whole flashback to explain that Sido met up with them prior and then worked out things with them. But this is where like Kira goes to yell at Ryuk and is just like, okay, we gotta do the next phase of some sort of plan here. Misa, quit your job, marry me. And then it's just him thinking every detail of like how he should approach this in his mind before, like, as he's thinking like, is now the optimal time to kill Misa? Will I be suspected if I kill Misa now? Like, by the way, the president kills himself. The president does not survive this because obviously,
less than Misa.
Light can't have him spilling any secrets involved with all of what went down there. So Light killed Misa, or not? Did I say Misa? Light killed the president. Light's
Misa
thinking about killing Misa.
president.
Misa
Let's
outlives
go.
the president. This is true.
That's pretty good.
Bodes well for me.
what did they try to say? Somehow the like gang people are just like, we tried to call the president. The president's not answering. Seems like the president killed himself because he suspected that he might be forced to use the nukes on people, I guess. So it sounds like he killed himself. I'm just like, how the fuck did you guys figure any of this out? What? I guess they must have people that they got dirt on in the
Death Note
White
is
House.
more about vibes based on how smart you are rather than actual evidence.
I guess.
You just sort
True.
of get a vibe and then you have to prove the vibe. You don't actually figure things out.
I liked as well the like one of the last panels we see is Mello chewing on the chocolate with like a weird look on their face, similar to when Light got back the Death Note and was like all according to Keikaku. It's like a very similar kind of face going on there, but it's like with chocolate in his mouth instead.
All according to chocolate.
Oh, hold on. They don't tell you this, okay? When you get the Death Note, specifically Kira's Death Note, you inherit the ability to eat things.
I was gonna say, we had a theory that the Death Note corrupts the original user. I don't know if Mello needed much more corrupting. I don't know. It seems like Mello is just. We have like. L was like, I don't really like. We should let these people die so we can confirm that this is Kira. It is. It sucks, but like, we got to do it to solve the case here. Mello's just like, fuck it, yeah, let's fucking kill people. Yeah, let's fucking kill people to get Kira. Let's fucking do it. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. I gotta solve the case. I gotta beat Nier. And Nier's just like, we haven't really focused too much on Nier other than like he's pretty similar to just L. I keep looking at Nier and being like, this is baby L with white hair. Like what?
Yeah.
What is the difference here? Like I feel like
Speaking of-
even L had like the ways he'd like communicate with people that like made him distinct or whatever. Nier, maybe it's just because Nier hasn't had the opportunity to do that. Nier's really got nothing going on for him except that he's baby L. I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of, earlier on there is a frame of like L with like inverted colors. So I was very compelled to do this.
Yeah, that's probably the smirk as he's like eating or whatever too. Yeah, inverted color.
That's good.
Light isn't Kira, evil L. Rest in peace, L. This manga, this story will not be the same without you. Even though we have L at home, the L at home is Nier, and Nier hasn't really become much of a character yet, except like I'm working with America instead.
I do think it's interesting. Personally, I think L would have pissed off both Mello and Nier by choosing Light as his Kira successor. He's like, yeah, you're Kira, but you'd be my great L successor. So everybody who could have possibly been L's successor is sort of facing off now. So hopefully we get something fun out of that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Also, I just want to make this reminder about this. Nier and Mello were not given any data or extra information from L about this case prior to like looking into it. They just figured out and intuited all of the things that they know about everything going on all themselves. Because all of the data that L had was deleted when Watari died. So they have no prior information to go on. They were just like, oh, L is dead? Alright, we'll look into the case. And Nier's pretty much got all of it locked up. And it actually looked like Nier's situation, it just kept looking like Nier was just doing everything from American resources, and it almost didn't look like Nier was actually doing too much themselves, other than saying we don't trust the current L. Whereas Mello's just like, seemingly it left the whammy house and then immediately got involved with like all of the gangsters around the world. Somehow made the most connections ever in like 4 years to do all this, and is going through it. By the way, I find it interesting that Mello's like the mastermind behind all this, and like they have the murder notebook now, and Mello has like gotten involved with all of these other gangsters, but like we're not doing a whole they're trying to kill each other to get the notebook thing going on here. They're just like, no, Mel's in charge. Yeah, we trust him.
No.
Didn't have any of that happen here. Not yet, at least. I don't remember. I honest to God don't remember most of what happens after L dies, even though I've seen the anime several times, because most of it was just not as interesting to me in the anime, at least.
Yeah.
So hopefully reading through the manga may change that. It's changed it a little bit in terms of my perspective of Mello, because it's more like funny, quirky shenanigans situation stuff, but like it is a very different story now. I will also say, despite the difference in the story now and how different it is from Cat and Mouse game, it did not stop it from being very text heavy in a way that I didn't like this time. Because like before, it was text heavy in that we were like doing the whole cat and mouse psychological games with just between two people, and like usually if one of them already covered the logic, the other one wouldn't really visit it too much, unless they had like faulty
on the same page.
Yeah, unless they had faulty information to go on, then you saw like why they would think the way that they currently are. Here we're seeing 3 different people internal thinking through their different situations, which is basically all repeating the same information that all of them already know. That part was starting to annoy me this week. It felt like I was just stopping a lot of the time to reread through the situation that I already understood 3 different times here on numerous occasions here with this week. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. What are our initial impressions that we have of Nier and Mello? I know some people here don't fucking like them. I know some people find Mello to be quirky, at least, so it's a little fun.
I'm warming up to Mello, just a smidge.
I will say I do enjoy a lot of the Mello panels more. Nier just looks disinterested in everything. I keep looking at Nier and I'm just like, why are you? What do you like? Actually give a shit about any of this, or are you just like, I guess this is my job now?
There.
He's just there, getting distracted from their toys.
White L, so.
White L. Not to be confused with white. Now we know there's no white chocolate. Okay, so that's.
No, you see, all of the stuff that L eats is white. He eats the sugar cubes.
That's true.
So it's inverted. It's the other way around.
Yeah, there's I do also appreciate that we got Cedo this week. I did remember Cedo. I remembered Mello, Nier, and Cedo for like the second half of things. And I don't remember much else in between. So we'll see how it goes.
Nier and Mello, and I did not remember Cedo, so that was a lot of fun to see. Be reminded of.
I do remember some other things that happened later, but like
yeah, you can't legally say that.
I will not legally say the things that are happening later, but I do remember a couple things that I am excited for.
Misa dying.
Whoa.
Something's happening later, not you just tell her. You're being excited that she's dying.
She's gonna outlive everybody, alright?
Yeah, that's true. She's got the Shinigami lifespan.
That she inherited the lifespan of had 1,000 years left.
Yeah,
she's still got quite a while.
Obviously, she's just as vulnerable to gun as anyone else.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I haven't tried to shoot Misa yet, so I can't confirm that.
You shouldn't.
Are there rules in the Death Note about it? There's rules in the Death Note about Shimigami being shot in the head.
One of the rules of the Death Note says, hey, the nature of Death Notes means you don't actually know what their fucking lifespan is, so maybe this doesn't mean anything.
Oh no!
The rules don't matter, okay? A Death Note being involved, you don't know how long they live. Fuck it. Alright, how do we feel about the turning point this week? I don't know how this is gonna go in the manga version.
Bland.
Yeah. This is the halfway mark. There's 12 volumes, so we only got like 2 more weeks of reading after this week. So we're effectively almost, we got 4 more volumes to read, so it's 2 weeks, so we're effectively almost towards the end. And we got the 2 new people And we'll see how far we get with that. Kira has already defeated L and assumed L's place. So now, how's he gonna get out of this one? With the shenanigans happening, with America being involved, and gangsters, I guess, just randomly getting involved too. Just fuck it.
Classic Death Note gangsters.
You know?
Yeah, classic.
And then Shinigami just breaking rules or just showing up for entertainment value or whatever. I did find it again extremely hilarious that Ryuk just looked at Sido in the room and was just like, hold on, I gotta leave the room real quick. This is gonna be so much better content if Light has no idea about this until it's too late. Hold on, I gotta
make things harder for Light. It'll be funny.
It's gonna be so funny. Yeah, and then it actually paid off because the reveal happened at like the worst moment for him, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Rem. Rest in peace, L. And now we get replacements. We get Sido instead of Rem, and we get Nier and Mello instead of L. And Watari. Watari's also dead. Rest in peace, Watari. By the way, I think I also posted real quick the frame of Misa saying, of them saying, Misa, you have a movie next in Hollywood, right? Yeah, I'll do my best over there. I'm just like, who's gonna tell her it's Netflix Death Note? Who's gonna tell her it's not gonna?
No.
Who's gonna tell her?
With the Light Turner.
No.
Who's gonna tell her it's not gonna go all over there? Who's gonna? All right. Any other thoughts, concerns, or random Death Note rules we want to talk about? What do you got? What's that?
Mello's crazy setup. So he's got a chocolate in one hand, phone the other, Death Note on his lap.
Very good, Mr. President. I'll show this cap on screen too. This is a good one.
There's another shot where like his feet are like next or like up on the table with his laptop and there's just a bunch of drinks.
Yeah, cause fuck it.
Crazy setup.
That's how you know he's a rebel. His feet are on the table as opposed to like sitting awkwardly with the. How do you describe how Nier and L sit? Like with their head in between their knees or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, crouched onto the furniture itself. Mello is just like, I'm putting my feet on the table. Okay, I'm just chilling here.
Honestly, kind of, he has my posture. I'll be honest.
It's probably not good posture. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably not. Sometimes I go frog mode.
I don't know how much better it is than L's posture. I'll say that. But all right. Was there any other weird Death Note rule shenanigans that happened that we needed to mention?
Check. Because I already set the weird one, but they can only regain the timer 6 times. Regain the memory 6 times.
That is weird. No, I just like that. I like the idea that the Death Shimigami King or whatever is just making rules whenever he gets annoyed.
No, hold on. There's one where it tells you this, like the breaking the rules severity level. The one of the extreme ones is killing a human without using Death Note, which is like, are you joking?
Yeah, if you just like choke them to death or you push them off a building,
throwing rocks from the Shinigami dimension to Earth to pummel them to death.
Oh,
that would get you killed.
Is that how the fucking dinosaurs went out? I see.
Oh wait, that actually kind of makes sense. You can't have Shinigami like going through the human world killing people because that's how they get more life force. That's like you're killing all the crops basically.
You're technically not even allowed to be in the human world. They had to pull out the rules to be like, am I allowed to go to the human realm? Well, you can if technically somebody else who owned your Death Note dropped it down there. He's like, ah shit. All right, so I can legally go down there. All right, cool.
Also, they mentioned that you can't erase the names of Death Note, which, like, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I mean,
I feel like that's one need to be pointed out.
Yeah, you can't erase it. It can't be removed with erasers or whiteout or anything. Once it's written, it's written. It's rule number 1 was like the human whose name is written in this Death Note will die, and then everything else afterwards. So once your name's there, is it? It's just a matter of how you die afterwards. Yeah. That said, if you do mistakenly write their name in there 4 times, or get their name wrong 4 times, then they're immune, so then you don't have to worry. But we already went over that. And again, it's never going to matter. Alright, I think that's all we got for this week. We'll see what's happening with Mello's wacky shenanigans next week, along with Nier's disinterested shenanigans as well, I guess. Will Misa survive? Will she actually marry Light? Will Sito ever get his Death Note back? Will the ref of the Shinigamis ever fucking do something? When is Ryuk just gonna pull out a bucket of popcorn? Because fuck it, this is basically what he's doing now.
If Ryuk knew what popcorn was, he'd be on it.
Yeah.
That's true. When is he gonna pull out like a bucket of apples and just watch? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. We'll see you guys next week for more Death Note Volumes 9 and 10. We meet here for Anime Book Club every week, every Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, here to talk about every 2 volumes of the manga we're currently reading. We're almost done with Death Note, and once we're done with Death Note, we're going to be starting the manga for Monster. So if you're interested in being involved in that, or for the end of Death Note, you can become a part of Book Club by joining the Discord at discord.wolfborg.com, or you can just check out the episodes live on youtube.wolfborg.com and twitch.wolfborg.com, and eventually they'll be uploaded onto Spotify as well when I stop being lazy. As for other plans, I am looking to have us continue with more of the Sailor Moon R watch party related to Book Club this Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, which will also be in the Discord if you want in on that. And Saturday, I will be continuing Of the Devil, finally. We're going to pull up the next VN for me to read, and it's going to be Of the Devil Episode 2. We've read Of the Devil Episode 0 and 1 in the past, which have VODs on YouTube that I'll probably revisit to remember what voices I was giving every character. But it'll be interesting to go back to Of the Devil after probably like a year since I last played it. So it'll be interesting to see how that case goes. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming to hang out. I appreciate it all, as usual. Let's see who is around to raid tonight. Probably Ohba, because Ohba is live doing Left 4 Dead 2 with the homies, Fuse and Toru, and they are, and Ototobo, who was playing Donkey Kong Country with me and Ohba the other month. Ohba is doing a Donathon. They're on day 5 of the Donathon now, so just support them if you can. And let's go check out their Death Note... I say Death Note. Left 4 Dead 2 shenanigans. I hope they don't have a Death Note. That might make things difficult. I don't know the names of zombies. I don't... does it actually wouldn't work against zombies? Because, wait, well, they were humans, but they're not alive? So I guess it
Can you
won't
kill them again? How does it work? Can you double kill someone with Death Note?
Actually, no, wait. Actually, you know what? They would use the Death Note. They would write Fuse Hunter's name in it. Easy. They would just write Fuse's name in it.
Or Fuse.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. No, we'll give them the hydrate note, and then they'll write Fuse's name in it, and then Fuse will have
Hell yeah!
hydrate. Finally.
We use it on chat all the time. Don't tell you about this.
That's true. That's true. All right. Goodbye, stream. Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye.
Bye, bye, stream.
Bye.